Hi, everyone. Welcome. My name is Daryl Martis. My name is Daryl Martis. I'm a director of product here at Salesforce, working on Agentforce. With me, I have Angela, who's going to speak next. She's a product director as well, working on Agentforce. First off, thank you. Thank you for being here. Really appreciate you being a partner with us and coming along with this journey. Now, we're going to talk through the agent refinement cycle today and talk through what is coming up next. First off, I'm going to talk about the ideate phase and talk about agent consultations. Next, I'll talk about the configure agent builder and talk about our other builders as well and the roadmaps there. Then we're going to talk about the testing center and then deployments as well. How do you deploy your agents? And finally, how do you supervise with analytics and interaction explorer? So first off, you don't have to wait till you go home or go back to the office to try out Agentforce. You can have Agentforce consultations right here. You can begin the ideation with Salesforce technical experts here. You can get AI-generated topics and actions, etc. as well. And finally, you can also test an agent with real-life scenarios. And you can get started today in the campground. Now, next, I'm going to talk about configuration, especially with the agent builder as well as the prompt builder. So in terms of the builder roadmaps, first off, we have prompt builder. So prompt builder allows you to build trusted generative AI use cases directly within Agentforce. You can customize it for your turnkey solutions or to build new prompt-driven actions by creating no-code prompt templates. And you can augment them with data. So for example, your CRM data, your data cloud data, all of that you can bring in, and there's no model training required. You can choose the model that you would like, and you can embed it in the flow of work as well. So you can use these prompts anywhere with Agentforce, with Lightning, as well as with flows. So this has been GA for a while, but in terms of the enhancements that we're bringing, we have support for multimodality with Prompt Builder now. So essentially what that means is that you can embed these images and include them as part of the data that you're bringing in with Prompt Builder. We also will have a new and improved UI from Prompt Builder. That I will show you what that means in a little bit. I'll give you a sneak preview of that. And also rich text formats. You can use different fonts now. However you would like to respond to your customers within the prompt builder, you will be able to do that as well. And conditional expressions, that is also GA. So all of these are GA right now. Prompt Builder can now have conditional expressions in the sense that if you would like to have if-else statements to help with your guardrails, you can do that now, and you can incorporate that. So the current landscape of how Prompt Builder looks like this. You can see that it doesn't allow for flexibility if you want to have a large template. So if you want to have a lot more, if you want a much larger template over here, it is a bit harder to do that. You have your regular workspace here, you have your preview with your resolution and response. So we look to see how we can make that better for all of you. To do that, we have a vertical layout. What that means is that you can create much larger prompts here. You can also then, you can see here number 2 and number 3, resolution and response. You'll be able to click on that to expand. So this supports much larger templates, and it's a lot easier to view it as well. You can also have AI-assisted building. We have 2 new features here that are GA. Number 1 is AI-generated actions. You can get started very quickly with these actions, and it suggests what kind of new actions you can generate. So that is AI-generated actions, GA this month. And topic overlap detection. We like to say that it is better to have a more specialized agent with specialized topics so that there's no overlap. To help you with that, we have topic overlap detection that will be GA this month. Now, we have next-gen authoring as well to help you author a much better Agentforce agent here. So you can get started with a lot of these out-of-the-box topics and actions for surfacing CRM data, and you can extend it with pro code extensions and APIs as well. And you could have conversational AI-first agent authoring experience that is available. We are prototyping it this month to be available later. So in order to, let me give you a quick example actually of how this works. So let's say you go to your Salesforce instance over here, and you say you want to start prototyping with this authoring experience. Let's say you want to create an order management agent. So you can say, can you create an agent called order management? And it will think, and it will ask you certain questions. It will ask you further questions about what is the agent's role, things like that. And what would you like to name the company? What would you like to name the agent? Questions like that. You can then respond to that. This is an order management agent, a company name, a CRM, etc. And it will generate this JSON, essentially, this configuration JSON, so that you can look through it if you would like. You can understand what it is, what is actually being generated. And this configuration you can preview as well. But it gives you a quick overview over here, and you can click on preview, and you can then ask it a certain question. So this is an order management agent that you've helped, that has helped authored, and you can then say, can you give me information? Help me with my order. And we'll get then, once you've connected all of your data, we'll be able to respond to that. And you can then ask it further questions and test it as well. So that is the new authoring experience. Now, we have a new product as well, which is the Agentforce Employee Agent. You can create these task-specific specialized agents to help you and your employees for any internal department or internal use case. You can get started, again, with out-of-the-box topics, with these actions and topics that are out of the box to surface your CRM data, but you can also equip them with any of this structured and unstructured enterprise data as well. And you can integrate these agents seamlessly across channels like mobile, across Lightning Experience, as well as with Slack. So this is a product that is GA today. And let me show you a quick demo of how this works. Okay. So let's build a task-specific, highly specialized AI agent for your employees. Let's say you are a sales rep at a company and you have an opportunity with Acme Partners. You would like to understand what are the certain discounts that you can give towards towards this deal. And there's a deal support agent over here. Generally, this is an actual team that helps you. But let's say you've created an agent that helps you with the deal support. And you say, what is a pricing flexibility that I have for this particular customer? And it'll give you all of this information. It gives you all of these recommendations. So you have this sort of employee agent that is helping you as a sales rep over here, and you can also create a lot more different agents, which I will talk about as well. Let's say you are in Slack and you have a channel that is dedicated towards this certain opportunity, and you can then bring in this deal agent as well and say, you can see here, deal support agent is in the channel. And can you share the final pricing that was aligned on this channel? And we'll look through all of that information. I will respond. And it responds only to you first. So you can see here, it's only visible to you. The final pricing here discussed is XYZ. And you can then also share it within this thread, within that channel, or you can also create a canvas if required. You can turn this, like I said, into a canvas brief. It'll take a few moments to do so. And once that's done, you can view it there. Here you can see the canvas was created with this information for that particular opportunity. And you can then further ask it more questions, or you can also then bring that information back into your CRM experience here. So you can see that you can ask further questions about it. You can also then get the sources for this agent. Here's an analytics agent, for example, that you can that helps calculate information across all of your sales. You can see here that the sources as well are brought in. So let's say you want to create a new agent that is you go into Agentforce Builder, you choose the employee agent, then you can choose the different topics. It already comes up with certain topics over here. There's general CRM, but it has all of these topics as well that are already a part of this. But you can also bring in and create more topics here. You can bring in data from your data library. You can bring in different context variables as well, so that it can get more information, give it more information as well. So let's say add from asset library, you can add in a lot more information here from the asset library. You can preview this as well, so you can initiate purchase request, for example. So there's a purchasing agent, for example, that you've created. You can activate this purchase order agent that will help you with purchasing decisions. And over here, see, it is available. Once you've activated it, it becomes available for you to use so that you can streamline your purchase order. There are other ones as well over here. So incident support agent, creative marketing agent, scheduling agent. All of these agents can help your employees in a task-specific, specialized manner. So that is employee agent available today. So definitely excited about that. In terms of the roadmap, like I mentioned, it's GA today as part of the Enterprise Edition. Key features are you can get these specialized agents, you can create specialized agent, it runs in your user context. You get support for general CRM and Slack skills, and you also have the agent access management. But what's coming further over the next few months is that you get a simpler access management for admins. You can get channel agents. You get this in a developer edition. You also get agent checklist as well. And September and beyond, closer to Dreamforce, what you will see is that we will support multi-agent orchestrator. We will have multi-language support, voice support, Agentforce in huddles, and multimodality for file upload as well. So very, very excited about this. Very great. There's very interesting development for us. So looking forward to this. All right. Now, I'd like to welcome on stage Angela. Welcome, Angela.
Thanks, Daryl. Thank you. So we have a lot of really exciting feature enhancements that are coming down the pike. They don't neatly fit into the entire agent experience, but maybe these are features that you've already started with. So I'm going to get started on the first one, which is web search with our knowledge action. So you might have already, if you've built an agent, you probably already used general FAQs. And so what makes this even more powerful is that now you can use our knowledge action with web search. So what that really means is that you can connect that action not just to your Agentforce data library or data cloud instance, but then now using it to connect to actually search the web and utilize different web URLs in order to get more information about any customers or leads and things like that. So actually, I'm going to come over here and do a live demo of our web search agent. Oops. All right, so let's say I'm a company that has an SDR program. And so one of the key things that you need to do as a sales rep is do some research about any of the leads that you have. And so now we have a topic inside of Agentforce Builder that does web search. So what we do first is describe what we want this topic to do. So ultimately, what we want it to do is to, when a new lead comes in, go and run that new action that we have that goes and does web search on a particular lead. And you're going to keep the summaries really short, and you're going to update that lead. So that actually helps us a lot, because if you think about when an SDR has new leads, usually they would take the time and go do that web search themselves and update the lead, but this is going to do it automatically. So that's a little bit different than the conversational agents that you might see all the time. Now we're just having that agent work in the background on our behalf. And so you can see we have the update lead flow, as well as answering questions with knowledge. So I'm going to, there we go. All right, so what are we looking at here? So this is flows that you probably know and love. And so we're going to create a record triggered flow and then connect it to that Agentforce web service agent action. So whenever a new lead comes in, what we're going to have it do is run that action, which is to do the web search and then also update that lead. And so let's do a live version. I'm going to create a new lead. Let's pick someone super famous. All right. So let's look up Warren Buffett. I'm going to save that new lead. Okay, and so at first, that description is going to be empty. But now that we give it a few seconds, and then when I do a refresh, it should update that lead with a quick summary of about who Warren Buffett is. All right, let's give it a second. That's how you know it's live. There you go. And so it does a really quick description of, oh, Warren Buffett is the chairman and CEO of Berkshire Hathaway. If you want this to be even more descriptive and bring in specific sources, you can do that with our new web search action. All right, so that was our first demo, but that's not where we're stopping with our knowledge actions. So first, we have web search. This has been a really big ask from a lot of our customers, and you saw how powerful it can be for really empowering some agents that work in the background. We're also going to be bringing inline citations. So when you use knowledge, it's really important to also understand where it's getting that knowledge from, and it helps you ground and feel more confident about the answers that you see. We're also going to bring in Data Cloud 1 support. Right now, it's not something we have. It's also a big ask from a lot of our customers. And then finally, as we get towards that Dreamforce timeframe, a couple things I want to call out here is just having action-based grounding. So we really want to be able to map multiple Agentforce data libraries to our knowledge action. So right now you can only do one, but now you can ground it across multiple different libraries and services. Multi-language support, so especially here in the UK or in EMEA settings, we know that multi-language support is incredibly important, so we want to have that as well. All right. So let's go over to testing. So as you know, that it's not just important to be able to configure and create those agents, but we know that one of the most important things is to test it and make sure it works at scale. And so we went out GA with Testing Center in January. And so what's really important is that we know that it's difficult to test agents because by nature they are non-deterministic. And so with Testing Center, we're helping build in some more of that confidence. So you can test it at scale using our batch testing, having AI-assisted test generation, so you're not manually creating those questions in preview. We're using AI to really generate a long list of different ways to ask questions in order to test your agent. So I have a demo about the new features that we have for Testing Center. So here I am again in Agent Builder, and this is an SDR agent. So this is one of our agents that's going to do outreach to any of your contacts that are in your company. So the first thing I'm going to ask it as I'm single line testing this agent is to draft an outreach email, but don't actually schedule it. Don't do anything in particular. And oh, this is very small, so I'm going to zoom in a bit. Okay, so you can see this is kind of helpful, right? So we asked it one question, it generates that draft email for us. However, now with our newest features, we have added in context variables. So now let's see how this looks when I want to preview different types of email scenarios. So one context variable I'm going to bring in is email scenario. So is this an intro or a nudge or a reply? I can also select the contact or lead that I want the agent to test. So let's test this person. And then apply those two variables here. And now when I ask that question again, it's going to now be able to take in those new variables that I had before and give me a response that is much more specific to that particular lead that I had addressed it to. So that's one way to test it, but it's actually very manual. You don't want to keep changing the variables and things like that. So what I'm going to do is go to our very handy batch test button here. And that's going to take those context variables that I already had. and then bring it over as a batch test. So now we have this new context variables modal here. And so now you can select the record type, email scenario, and the record as well. And so here I can generate AI test cases. So I don't have to type each and every type of different ways of asking, draft an outreach email for me. I'm going to go ahead and click next. And again, with Testing Center, you can evaluate the test not just on whether it chose the right topics or ran the right actions, but also now we have additional response quality evaluations. So whether the response was complete enough or coherent enough, and then also gives you some more ideas about latency, which is really important for many of our customers. So I'm going to generate that test case. Test cases, because they can vary in how quickly they run. I have some cooking show magic here and have a test that was already run. And as you can see, once you run the test, you can see how long it takes to run the test, what's the percentage of topics that were passed, actions, etc. And for anything that is, let's say, less than 90%, I can go over to that particular column or row and see where it failed and then adjust accordingly. So that was that demo for Testing Center. But we have a lot more that's coming in for Testing Center as we go on towards the rest of the year. So as you saw, we showed the context variables and conversation history. We're going to add in that knowledge and RAG testing. That's also really important, so you can see how well it's grounding on knowledge as well. And then as we get towards that Dreamforce timeframe, it's super helpful, and we know that it's great to have the test cases and whether or not they passed or failed. But what's going to be even more important is for you to get a recommendation for how to fix either your topics or actions to get the results that you want. And so that's where you're going to get the test failure explanations and recommendations for how to continue to tune or troubleshoot your agent so it's working as you expect. All right, so let's talk a little bit about the deployment enhancements that we have coming down the road. So we went GA with our multimodal support for our agent responses and for upload. So you might have tried this on ChatGPT where you can upload a file, a photo, or something like that. And that's going to be really helpful for a lot of our customers, particularly ones that might be in service. So you can take a photo, say, hey, this is my washing machine that's broken. Help me fix it. And that's like a really great way for customers to communicate back with the service agent. Second piece that's GA this month is also our rich content support. So these are going to be those really rich responses that are going to be really useful for some of our customers if you have one of our agents on your website, particularly for commerce. So instead of just getting a text response, maybe you'll get a picture of some great shoes that you should buy. And then finally, voice, which is a huge ask from a lot of our customers. We're going to have that conversational voice agent. So just imagine where you have one of your customers calling your service agents. It's actually one of our voice agents behind the scenes, and they can have that natural language conversation, maybe asking about where the nearest restaurant and what the location hours are. It'll respond in voice, and that's a pilot that we have right now in this month. Second piece of deployments are our enhancements that we have for our Agentforce APIs. One that I want to call out in particular is, so one, we have the ability to trigger Agentforce programmatically. So we saw a little bit of that with the demo with the web search agent. So that was an agent that's working behind the scenes. It wasn't conversational, but you can trigger that with just an API call. The second piece that I wanted to call is being able to connect our Agentforce APIs and exposing the agent, not just in Slack, but also Teams. So we know that not everyone uses Slack, but now you can use our Agentforce APIs to expose your Agentforce agent into Teams, so you can have that conversations in the place where your users might be talking to each other day to day. All right, and then finally, let's talk about supervision and how do you manage all of the agents that you might have as part of your organization. So We have quite a few tools that are available today. So we have our one of our Agentforce analytics dashboards. So that's going to give you some basic ideas of like how much engagement do you have across all of your agents? Do you have agents that have really high escalations rates, or maybe agents that are handing over to a human agent instead? So that's going to help you improve the processes and data there. Um, then we're GAing today our Omni Supervisor. So that's going to give you a better idea of like, okay, what are the conversations that my agents are having right now? And so that is a great way for our customers to then, or our human supervisors to then look at the agents that are working autonomously for them, maybe conversations where they might need to step in, or topics that they might need to refine in order to better handle different conversations that are coming into our Agentforce agents. The third piece, which is a pilot today, is our better tracing and monitoring. So we know that right now inside of Agent Builder, you have session IDs, but there's not a lot of detailed tracing about how the agent reasoned through a particular request at the conversational level. And so what we want to know, what we're going to expose over to our customers now is a better behavior understanding. So this is going to be very similar to more traditional session tracing and monitoring. So you can see, how long it took for the agent to run to classify the topic, then the actions itself, and what parts of the action were run, and then maybe looking at where it might have had a failure because there wasn't a user permission or things like that. And you'll get that alert to see, okay, this is an area where the agent failed, and so this is how you need to fix it. And then finally, in pilot right now is our Interaction Explorer. And so this is really where we want to go from, tracing and monitoring. You can see there it's very pro code heavy. But Interaction Explorer is where we're going to bring that all together into a dashboard view. You can click through to get more details. And it's going to be able to have more of that rich explanations of and data that you might need to really figure out where to go. What's the next step that you need to do to enhance your agents? Okay, so the first piece we can dive into is that session tracing and data model. So right now we know that it's kind of hard to really pinpoint why an agent might have failed, or maybe why a response was not up to par. And you don't know if it's happening at setup or maybe during testing or production. So now with detailed session tracing, you will be able to do that. So you'll have that, step-by-step interaction log. You'll see what topic was called, the actions that were run, the variables that were part of that action or topic. And it really should help a lot of our admins and developers better debug what the agent's doing. So you can fix faster, you can test smarter, and then just generally will improve the overall quality of your agent. All right, so I'm going to do a quick demo of our Interaction Explorer that's coming up soon. So this is in pilot today, so that's why it's still just a Figma. So here's our Interaction Explorer. And as you can see, this is a great dashboard view of like, okay, generally how are our topics performing? What are our top ranking products? And then what are our products that we might need or topics that we might need to fix? So it looks like the quality score for one of my topics, general FAQ, is not doing very well. So let's click here. And what's great is I can see how many moments, meaning like how many conversations the agent has had that are under the general FAQ umbrella. And then also starts giving me recommendations like how I might need to fix this particular topic. So I'm going to go ahead and drill in and see, okay, so some of these tags like cancellation requests, I'm getting a lot of hits here, but the quality is pretty low. So I can click into here and see what are the types of questions that customers are asking that fall under cancellation requests. And what might I need to do in order to improve this particular topic. Okay, so I can go ahead and do some filters here. And then, click into this particular moment. So here I'm seeing that a replay of that particular session log that a user would have had with my particular agent. I can see, this is how it answered some of those questions, and why that quality score was in particular was low, because I ended up having to escalate to a human agent instead of continuing and successfully canceling that order. So this makes it a lot easier than if you compare to how a customer might debug today, where we might have the session log, but we don't see a full replay of this conversation without getting into Splunk logs. So if I'm an admin, I can come back to this page and look at, okay, maybe I need to retrieve some knowledge, maybe I need to change that action in particular, and then make sure that this is resolved in a better way for our next customer who has a cancellation request.
All right. Well, with that,
Yeah.
thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you,
Appreciate
everyone.
it. Thank you.